Yeah, yeah, yo, hey baby.
Ghettomystic, a product triplistic.
I was just admiring your aura.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
it's so
oh,
ethereal.
So welcome to a day in the life of the Ghettomystic. I am your host, the Ghettomystic, and I'm somewhere very special to me today, as you can see. I'm among the fishes, so to speak. It's February 29th, the day of eternal youth. It's the only day outside of February 27th that I would ever want to be born on because it means that you're both a February Pisces and a March Pisces. And I think that's pretty amazing. So let's get into the day of eternal youth, February 29th, the Leap Day year, with our sturgeon swimming in back of us. So, today we're talking about a very, very auspicious day in the whole zodiac. It's the one day where the person who's born on this day, because of the fact that there is not really 365 days in a year, every 4 years we have this thing called a leap year. And then we have the year where February is normal. It only has 28 days. So it all dates back to the Roman Empire, and when we established this 12-month, 365-day-a-year cycle. So because of that, you've heard people say that are born on this day say, yeah, I'm born, I'm only 4 years old, or something like that, or, you know. I always found it amazing. So it's only fitting that today is the day of eternal youth. We are firmly inside of Pisces. This is the third to last day of Pisces, second to last day, however you want to look at it, because some years this is the first, and some years this is the 29th. So it's in a really weird spot. So 9 degrees, between 9 and 11 degrees in the Pisces constellation. We can say with some certainty that there are far fewer February 29th people than those born on any other day. So right away, they're the most endangered species in the zodiac. Of course, it's the Pisces. They're the most endangered or rare species in the zodiac altogether. Moreover, were we to determine our age by counting it up in our birthdays, those born on February 29th would also be far younger than anyone else. 20 would be a ripe old age for someone born on this day. Consequently, it could be said that February 29th people are forever young. So they even die young, no matter how old they are when they die. Of course, February 29th is a unique day, for it was created artificially to try to make up for the fact that our year is really a few hours longer than 365 days. This 366th day was brought into existence by Julius Caesar, who decreed that it occur only once every 4 years. However, in the time of Pope Gregory, it was discovered that 1 day every 4 years is a bit too much. So only one in 4 century years, 2000, but not 1700, 1800, or 1900, is given the extra day. Those born on February 29th do carry an unmistakable youthful air. They seem, like cats, to have 9 lives and are able to slip out of dangerous predicaments repeatedly. They are survivors whose deeds could almost be taken as a confirmation of their unusual birthday. Indeed, February 29th people tend to be rather peculiar, a fact that is known full well. From the earliest times, they realize they are unusual because of their apprehension of the world. Often, it seems at odds with the consensus. In the same way that for them, their true birthday is a rarefied event and thus special, they tend to see the specialness in aspects of life that others would take for granted. At their best, they are childlike, holding dear and simple joys. At their worst, childish and somewhat needy. Those born on this day are generally not the types to flamboyant displays of their uniqueness to the world. Thus, they generally gravitate to work that deals with human concerns and the problems of everyday life, rather than seeking far-off professions. Often, their highly active fantasy and imagination finds its expression at home rather than in society at large. February 29th, people must not abandon their individuality or iron out too many of their idiosyncrasies in a quest for normality. It may be desirable for them to give up those habits which cut them off from others in a social sense, but should those differences be integral in their talents or an essential part of who they are, improvising or adjusting could just be code for repressing. Many born on February 29th have a tendency to overcompensate for real or imagined deficiencies. Those who do so through an ambitious pursuit of success are, of course, at risk of succumbing to worldly temptations. On the other hand, those who withdraw can become hyper-romantic idealists who, wary of revealing themselves, come to live in a secretive fantasy world. February 29th, people should avoid such extremes of thought and behavior and seek a path of moderation. So now, that just shows you how unique they are. February 29ers, I don't think I'll come into too much contact with y'all. Like they said, they're very rare, but I would be happy to get to know or be acquainted with someone who was born on that day. It's the only day, I don't know if I said this before, but it's the only day that, besides my birthday, February 27th, the day of the Reality Masters, that I would love to be born on. I don't know if the karmic wheel goes day by day, like next time I'm born, no matter who I am or what I am, I'm gonna be born on February 28th. So I got two more lives, maybe one more lifetime before I get to experience what it's like to be born on February 29th. Alright, if that's the way it works. Let's talk about the numbers and the planets for those born on February 29th. Okay. Those born on February 29th are ruled by the number 2. 2 plus 9 equals 11. 1 plus 1 equals 2. And by the moon. Those ruled by the number 2 often make good co-workers and partners rather than leaders. Such qualities help February 29th people fit in as team players. But a strong connection between the moon and Neptune, ruler of Pisces, can indicate high romanticism and idealism, but perhaps a deficit in logical thought. February 29th people must be particularly watchful for illusions, particularly of their own making. The tarot card for those born on February 29th would be the Priestess, Sown, sitting on her throne, calm and impenetrable. She is a spiritual woman who reveals hidden forces, empowering those of us who heed her call and her knowledge. Favorable qualities of this card are silence, intuition, reserve, and discretion. Negative qualities of this card are secretiveness, mistrust. Indifferent are silence, intuition, reserve, and discretion. Negative qualities of this card are secretiveness, mistrust, indifference, and inertia. The positive traits are embodied by the Priestess can be well emulated by those born on February 29th. Now we'll talk about the health. Those born on February 29th are generally blessed with good health. Yet, they may take a whole matter of health far too seriously. They should avoid new fad diets and cures and depend on tried and true approaches. Developing culinary skills comes naturally to most born on this day, and so does enjoying the fruits of their labors. However, those born on this day should try to exercise some restraint where indulging their appetites is concerned. Plenty of rest will be important to calm active nervous systems of February 29th people. Daily naps are beneficial when they do not cause sleeplessness at night. As far as exercise is concerned, February 29th people should seek out moderatively competitive or social sports. If possible, dancing is particularly recommended. Now here's the advice that they give. Find a balance between your individual and social selves. Develop a quiet self-confidence. Beware of adhering too much to external values. Bring your fantasy out in the world and share it with others. The meditation they give is less is more often. Your strengths, you're youthful, you're accepting, you're appreciative. Your weaknesses are indulgent and being immature. So, those born on this day, let's see, Dina Shore, Morarji Desai, that was the Indian Prime Minister who imprisoned Gandhi. Who else? Who else on here? Michelle Morgan. Jack R. Lusima, who was an astronaut. Jiro Okagawa, the Japanese novelist who wrote Shizuku's younger sister. So, yeah, man, those are the people that were born on February 29th, the Leap Year Day. They're also March Pisces, which is a big deal. I'll talk about that a little bit more tomorrow. The difference between a February Pisces and a March Pisces. We're still going to be in Pisces 1, but for 2 more days, if I'm not mistaken. The first and the second are all Pisces 1s. But Pisces born in March and Pisces born in February are 2 different animals. I'm going to discuss that a little bit tomorrow. But with that being said, I want to thank you for joining the Ghettomystic. This has been a day in the life of the Ghettomystic. This has been February 29th, the day of eternal youth. And I'm still in my birthday celebration, as you can see, so I'm going to get out of here with all this wind blowing and flower petals blasting everywhere, you know what I'm saying? So, you know. Peace.
Deeper, deeper, I'm falling through abyssal space. Charts off the meter, your heavenly body's all in place. Terrestrial to the ethers, I long for your aquatic embrace. Inferno fever, evaporate without a trace. It's a day in the life of the Ghettomystic. Oh, and if you turn, then you might have missed it.